Good morning and welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. I'm Brian Moritz. Today I'm going to be walking around a 2012 Newmar King Aire 4584. So one of the used coaches we have here available on the lot. This particular coach, I would say is about a 9.9 out of 10 for a 2012. Very few things that we're going to point out that are wrong with it. So we'll start by walking around the outside, then we'll head inside. But let's start looking at our awning setup. So in 2012, the Newmar King Aire did have the Girard awning package, which gives us the cap-to-cap patio awnings. So I have one of them out right now. It's a total of 2 awnings. We also have the window awnings to keep the sun from beating into the coach, and then the entry door awning to give you kind of a dry place as you walk in. So let's go ahead and start underneath this coach with storage. So really big compartment here in the front. Notice it is carpet lined so that things aren't going to move and shake and rattle while you're in transit. Moving back one bay, we have a full pass-through with the manual tray. A couple of spare parts in here, but 60% either direction. Now, a little different than how I normally do things. I actually have the slides out when I started this video just so you could see how far this tray comes out. Even with slides out, you know, because you're gonna have to duck under them a little bit, but it's not too bad. We still have the shelf up above that storage tray just to optimize the storage a little bit. Same thing here, just a little bit wider tray. And pull this one out. Now, this is something that I really like to see in a used motorhome. It kind of just shows you how it was cared for. These 2 bags right here are all your original manuals, a couple of the service records, and a nice bin located underneath the coach. Shows that the previous owner actually did care about it. This is a 1-owner coach. He is local here in Colorado. Back one more, we've got our half bay. Really big storage tray. Notice how easy those are to extend and retract. Even when you start putting weight on them, they really don't get much harder. And then in 2012, we have the 32-inch Sony TV, which is in the underside. Now this TV is on a swivel arm, so you can pull it out and move it around as needed. We do have 2 external speakers in here, just to give you a little bit better sound quality than what the TV is gonna produce. So being that this is a 2012, when it came in on trade, we did go ahead and put tires on it. So the tires, the date code on the tires is 3221. So these tires were manufactured the 32nd week of 2021. So you don't have to worry about those for a while after you purchase this coach. In this bay, we've got our 15-gallon DEF tank, our diesel exhaust fluid. And then the Spartan Service Center. So this coach is built on the Spartan K3 chassis. All right, so in this compartment, we've got our 2 150 amp circuit breakers. Now this is gonna act as our battery disconnect. If we're putting the coach in storage, you flip those off. That way we don't kill these 2 chassis batteries. 2 chassis batteries are gonna be used for starting the engine. The date on those batteries is 10/21, so relatively new batteries. We've got our air dryer and our fuel water separator, nice and easy to access. One thing I love about Spartan chassis. Come around to the back, we've got the beast. We've got a Cummins ISX 600 horsepower producing 1,850 foot-pounds of torque. 600 horsepower on this 45-foot diesel pusher. Down below, we've got a 2-inch receiver with a 15,000-pound towing capacity, 1,500-pound vertical weight capacity, and then we have a 7-pin connector for all our trailer brakes and trailer lights. Oop. Up top, we do have a full-color backup camera, which does supply us with grid lines. We put it in reverse so that you have some reference of how far away you are from the objects behind you. All LED tail lights, something that was still relatively new in 2012. So coming over to the off-door side, we have 2 more awnings here. These are just gonna be window awnings to keep the sun from beating into the coach. Notice this is a full body paint scheme. There's no stickers or decals. Exterior paint wise, there's one little rub mark on the other side, probably about 4 inches long on the very bottom. It took me forever to even see it. But other than that, this coach is absolutely beautiful. So in here we've got our water bay. So to the top left there, we've got the mana block system, which allows us to isolate a water fixture if we need to. Say we sprung a leak, didn't want to stop the trip, we could just shut it off so you don't have to worry about it leaking. Power water hose reel, so manual extend, power retract, so pull it out and then push the button, sucks itself back in. Macerator pump, so that we can just use the pump to pump out the gray and black tanks rather than gravity dumping. We have our levels here on this screen, as well as the option to turn on our water pump or fill the tank. Hot and cold exterior shower, whole house water filter. Now this coach is winterized currently, so it's going to be removed, but when you come to pick it up, it'll be fully put together and ready to go. So a little different than what we see now in King Airs. We have 140 gallons of fresh water, 80 gallons of gray, and 60 gallons of black. In this compartment, we've got our 50 amp power cord on a reel. So it is a manual extend, power retract again, and that's going to be a 50-foot cord. Up in this compartment, we also have a button to start and stop our generator. So if you're going to unplug, you can turn the generator on, walk back, unplug it, and never lose power. Next, we have the Oasis system. This is going to be our heat as well as hot water. That is going to use either diesel fuel or electricity, just depending on what we have available, to heat the coach as well as provide us hot water. That's on-demand hot water, I should say. And then the other side of our 2 pass-through trays. So we'll go ahead and pull this one out. Makes it a lot easier than trying to duck underneath the slide and then crawl into the bay to get at the items you have stored down here. Same thing here. 60% either direction is how far these trays extend. They're 91 inches long total. And then last compartment here, we've got our 8 6-volt house batteries. Now these are going to be used for our lights, water pump. All of our 12-volt accessories are going to be used right here, and they also power the inverter to run our 110-volt accessories. So coming around to the front, we have the HWH hydraulic tray here. That's going to extend this generator out. This generator is an Onan 12,500 watt quiet diesel generator. It's got 980 hours on it. It's running right now, runs great. Here at Transwest, we are an Onan certified dealer. So we go through, knock out any services. If it has an issue, we would have fixed it. But you can rest assured knowing that that generator is going to work as advertised when you pick it up from here. While we're up front here, the stock number for this unit is 5U211630. Again, it's a 2012 Newmar King Air 4584. So we can go ahead inside now. So as we come in here, even in 2012, we got the keyless entry. So we have the 4-pin keypad here. So if you don't want to take your keys with you, we can set your code. You type in the code, it'll unlock your entrance door as well as your baggage door. So we have power baggage door locks on 2012 King Air as well. Let's go on inside. So one thing I really like about this coach is that it shows absolutely no evidence of ever being lived in. So Jody, if you want to just kind of pan around the furniture, there's no excessive wear here. There's no discoloration. Everything just looks beautiful as if it just came off the factory floor. I have found no defects in wood, so it wasn't beat on ever. You know, there was never something that came loose and rolled into a cabinet, causing damage. So just a really beautiful coach in here. And this actually has some custom features, which we'll talk about here in just a little bit. So we'll start back here in the full bath. In the very back of this coach, across the back side, we get the cedar lined closet. So we've got hanging storage, the full width of the coach, some shelving, which could be moved if needed. Safe in the back, and then shoe shelving. We'll switch spots. Tons of storage back there. To the left, we've got the Tecma electric flush macerating toilet. So it's actually going to pump the whatever's in the toilet down into the tanks. And then we have the double vanity. Now, instead of a medicine cabinet, I thought this was kind of interesting. This just actually opens up into that shelving back in the wardrobe, but you still have two 110 volt outlets there. Down below, 3 drawers. Again, all carpet lined, and they are all going to be quiet closing as well. 2 really big cabinets for all your toiletry needs. And then you have 4 110 volt outlets here underneath the countertop. And then on the opposite side, you get an actual medicine cabinet. Across from the vanity, we do have a nice size shower with the stool in it. So shower on a wand so you can move around as necessary. And then we do have the stool if you need to sit down while you're taking a shower. This door does have dual latching mechanisms, so we've got magnets, very strong magnets on it. And then there's also a little mechanical lock there just to make sure it doesn't fly open. This is a glass enclosure, so that wouldn't be a very fun time. Moving into the bedroom, we've got a 72 by 80 radius corner sleep number king bed. So this is a true sleep number. We got the remote here to inflate or deflate, make it softer or firmer as needed. Cabinetry up above the bed for additional storage. And then underneath the bed, we have more storage. The original 2 folding chairs for the dinette, and then the original central vacuum toolkit stored nicely underneath there. On the opposite side, 4 drawers for additional wardrobe. Again, all soft closing. And then this is one of my favorite features. We actually have the built-in laundry hamper that matches those drawers. Above that, got a countertop here, phone, wallet, keys before you go to bed, just throw them there. 43-inch Sony TV, and then storage up above. Now in this cabinet over here, we've got a switch to extend and retract that window awning on the exterior of the coach. Silverleaf, we'll talk about this more up front, but that's a whole house control panel. Now in this coach, we're going to see these switch stacks everywhere. Even in 2012, the Newmar King Air came standard with multiplex lighting, so I can turn on and off all my lights from here. I can do it at the front of the coach while I'm laying in bed. Also, we have power shades all the way around on this coach, which is going to bring us into the kitchen area. So the Newmar King Air 4584 in 2012 was designed as a bath and a half model. So this was the pantry for the Newmar King Air 4584. Nice size pantry, but the person who ordered this coach decided they would rather have storage over the second bathroom or the half bathroom. So he had Newmar go ahead and build a massive pantry in place of the half bathroom. Huge pull-out drawers. We've got a total of 10 of them. I'm sorry, 12 of them. And this was done at the factory prior to anyone ever taking possession of this coach. So it matches, it's beautiful. And then normally in the half bath, in the cabinets, we would have our circuit breakers and fuses. Well, we didn't have a half bath, so they put them right above that pantry. Now, full disclosure, without this half bath here, to access the bathroom while you're in transit, while all your slides are closed, you do have to crawl over the bed. It's doable. Not the most convenient thing in the world, but it is absolutely doable. Across from the pantry, we have the Whirlpool 19.7 cubic foot residential refrigerator. Now in 2012, they were still doing the refrigerator with water and ice in the door rather than having it on the tray underneath. So your entire freezer is unobstructed. You don't have an ice maker and an ice tray in there that you have to contend with. 4584 does have the midship stacked washer and dryer, so this is going to be kind of in the living room area. Cool thing about this is that dryer down below is a 220 volt dryer. Or, I'm sorry, up top, not down below. 220 volt dryer, which means it will actually dry. It's much more like a residential dryer than what you normally see in the RVs. Another Sony 43-inch HD TV back here with more storage. The guy who ordered this coach loved having storage apparently, because there's more in here than any other coach I've ever been in. Oop. AV compartment. So right here we've got the Winegard Traveler control box. Now that is going to be a stationary satellite. It is a automatic seek and all that. So you just push a button, it turns on, goes up, finds the satellites. And then the freestanding dinette. So kind of a TV or a dinette that we don't see very much anymore, but plenty of room here for 4 people. Now, this does have 2 leafs in it. So if I want to, I can pull it apart. The leafs just store inside of the table here. Oop. Maybe. The previous owner was really good at this. Let's see if I can figure it out. There we go. Well, I'll figure that out later. But the leaves do store inside of that table. And then the table can be moved back in here. Like I said, this is a freestanding table, so you can move it around as needed, put it anywhere you want in the coach. If it wasn't extended right now, if I could figure out this leaf situation, it only sticks out probably 12 inches from that buffet over there. The buffet is a nice one to have, just so that you can put all your serving dishes, stuff like that, over there and keep your table clean. Just need a plate and a drink for everyone. More storage. And that's going to bring us into the actual kitchen. So, start over here. Small cabinet, just making do with the space they had available. Right here, much bigger cabinet. Now, we do have a shelf in there that's adjustable up and down, and I can barely even reach the back wall in there. So, just to show you how deep it is, 2-bowl undermount sink. And then to the left of that, we have a 2-burner electric cooktop. Now that's not going to be induction, that is true electric. 2 more drawers underneath the countertop. And then this coach does have the option for the dishwasher on a drawer. More storage underneath. Look at that, they even left the original trash can in there for you. And then your wet storage, so your sponges, scrubbers, all that stuff. Great place to keep them. And then a serving utensil, cutlery drawer as well. Moving forward, we do have opposing sofas in this coach. So very comfortable. The leather still feels nice. It doesn't feel like it's worn or cracking or anything. And like I said, I mean, I really think this coach is about a 9.9 out of 10. It is just absolutely beautiful. There's very, very few discrepancies in it. So coming up front here, talk about some control panel stuff. So up here in the top left corner, we've got the battery disconnect switch. If I turn that off, it kills all my 12-volt power, just so that I don't kill the coach while it's sitting in storage. Controls for your slide outs. Now these slide outs are Newmar's design. They do have automatic locking arms. Extend and retract our awnings. This is going to be our entry door and the window awning on our off door side. Outside security lights. Exterior entry step, turn on and off. Privacy drapes for the cab. So we have a shade across the front to come down and be our total blackout shades when we're going to bed at night. all the way around on all three corners. So up here we've got our Silverleaf control panel. So there's gonna be a couple of different things. It's our whole house control. So right now we can see our fresh gray and black water levels, 54% fresh water, 0% gray, 0% black. House battery and chassis battery levels, and also our power source and what we're pulling in. If I go to AC power, it's gonna let me turn on and off my 3000 watt inverter. DC power is just gonna tell me what my battery level's at. Genset is gonna tell me if it's running, how it's running, all that. So 998 hours, I'm sorry I said 980 earlier, but 998 hours running perfectly right now, producing 120 volts at 60 to 61 hertz and 154 degrees Fahrenheit. Water levels, climate control, so we have three 15,000 BTU air conditionings on this coach. All three of them can be controlled simultaneously via this screen. Exterior air temperature, and then some water controls there. So easy to use screen. When you pick up a coach from Transwest, we do give you a 2-hour orientation to teach you how to use all this stuff. And now we'll sit down in the cab. We'll actually just go ahead and fire this beast up. So there we go, it is now running. So over here on my left side, I've got the control pad for our HWH computerized leveling. So that is gonna be 4-point hydraulic leveling. Now forward to that, even on a 2012 Newmar King Air, we would have this Hadley system. That is an air leveling system, so it's gonna use the airbags underneath to level the coach rather than dropping jacks. Really helps with fueling, and or just if you're crashing for a night, you don't have to drop the jacks, you can just air level and be done. Touchpad for our Allison 4000 MH transmission. There's gonna be a 6-speed automatic transmission. Power window, power toll window here. Tag dump switch, engine brake. We have a high and a low on the 2012 King Air. Automatic traction control override. If you ever don't like traction control, you can hold that button down and it takes it off. Power mirrors for both our driver and passenger side, as well as heated mirrors for those cold and foggy days. Incremental switch to bright and dim the dash. Headlights. Now over here we still have a comfort drive knob. So rather than being on the dash like we see in the new King Airs, this knob adjusts our comfort drive level. For those of you who don't know what comfort drive is, it's an electronic assist on the steering wheel that changes how much torque it takes to turn the steering wheel. Now the other thing it does is if I let go of it, it just takes it straight back to center. It does a little faster if I'm moving, but really takes a lot of the work out of driving these coaches. Parking brake release and set, fog lights on and off, house battery boost switch, so if our chassis batteries ever died, we could pull power off of our house batteries to get this coach started. Air horn, so we have 2 horns. The first is your city horn, which is just kind of a car horn, and then your air horn, just in case you really want to get someone's attention. Being that this is a used coach, 2012, it has 53,465.5 miles on it right now. So on the dash here, we've got our front and rear air, our primary and secondary air tank levels, battery voltage, fuel gauge, as well as a depth gauge, speedometer, tachometer over here, oil pressure, and then water temperature. Over on my right side, we've got our front fans. So these are fans that are located up behind these cabinets, so we can turn them on and off. I'm sorry, front fans are going to be down below. That's going to be pulling heat off of our furnace to heat up the cab. For those of you who travel during the winter, you know the Class A's are kind of hard to keep warm. So we actually wired in our furnace up into the cab to keep us warmer. Overhead fans are going to be fans up behind these cabinets. Now they just help with air circulation. They help with air circulation, as well as they act as an additional defroster. Over here we've got our dual screen setup. So this left one is going to be our radio as well as navigation. On the right is just a dedicated camera screen. Now we do have 3 different cameras. So we have a left blinker, right blinker, and then the dedicated backup camera. So that's actually going to be on full-time backup camera if you're not using your blinkers. So down here we've got docking lights. Those are going to be rearward facing lights to help us back into spots at night. Courtesy lights, which is going to be underneath. Generator start and stop. step cover for the passengers. That step cover is going to come out and then go flush so that our passengers' feet aren't hanging down in the hole. And then some more shades and visors for this cab. Now these are going to be your see-through ones, just so that, or for safety reasons, where your total blackouts are going to be up top away from the driver, so you don't accidentally hit the wrong button, drop a shade, and go blind while you're in transit. And then your standard HVAC controls. So overall, this is a beautiful coach. Very little wrong with it. It is just about ready to leave our lot. So if you have any questions about this coach, please feel free to give me a call. Again, my name is Brian Moritz. I'm at Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. My phone number is 303-482-6375. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.